Gatehouse Night. I know how deeply they were marked by it, and over the past 40 years, I've watched lots of young people and neighbors from this community choose to serve their country and accept the risks that it requires. We think of them on this day, standing before this glorious monument to the soldiers and sailors who preserved the Union, to the memory of all those we have given since, and to everyone who today, amid these deeply selfish times, stands between us and harm. Memorial Day is also personal because it calls upon us. It obligates us not to celebrate the deeds of war, but to remind each other that the pain and solace of the human heart seem little changed despite the legions of names we have inscribed by the list of victories or the sacrifices of the living whom we ask to bear forever their war memory and its wounds. I believe that Memorial Day, as it was meant in its beginning, is a day to reflect whether the scourge of war must live in the human heart as deeply as love or hope, whether we can ever let it rest, and why we cannot reach the peace which this immensity of sacrifice was meant to bring us. I want to thank all those in uniform and our veterans for their service, my beloved West Side community, and all Manhattanites and all New Yorkers for their support of those who serve, and to offer a special shout out to George Shaw, founder and spirit of the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Association. I know Joe Davis is here too, and he had a lot to do with the beginning. But at the bright young age of 93, George is now supposedly retired. We miss him, but without him and those he inspired to join him, there would be no ceremony here today or any other year. Without him, I would not have found the money, your money, to restore the South Plaza. Felt so deeply Memorial Day sacred meetings to understand why the Soldiers and Sailors Monument must be preserved. None of that would have been possible without Dr. George Shaw. He taught us that this monument matters not just because there is a landmarks law or because these stones shine so beautifully in the light. He taught us that even such a great temple of memory as this is nothing unless it lives in our hearts. I am delighted that Peter Galasano is now leading the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Association and with the members of the board, and they are fabulous, and they are all doing a great job. I pledge to work with the Memorial Association and with the Parks Department to renovate, in the words of New York Times reporter David Dunlap, who just wrote a story about this monument, and said that it's one of the astonishing memorial chambers in New York, a 50-foot-high cylindrical rotunda of elaborately curved marble rising above 5 colossal, empty statuary niches. It culminates in a great dome, ornamented with green mosaic palm fronds and topped by an oculus through which one can see a cupola of polished marble that sparkles like a celestial faceted jewel. Quote from David Dunlap. Seems to me that we should fix it based on all that wonderful verbiage. The only thing wrong in that story was that nobody had been in there, but Open House New York, which in October brings all of us to places we don't normally do, did bring us there a few years ago in October, and you can see that it's very moist in the walls and needs a major renovation. But this is a lesson of Memorial Day with which I leave you. This is a lesson for the whole day. Homage to those who served, honor to those we gave, and above all, never forgetting why we love them and why we must have places such as this here at Soldiers and Sailors to gather and remember them always. Thank you very much.